Hi everyone, Jennifer here, and welcome to what I hope will be the first of many of my online yoga videos. As you know, whenever I travel for an extended period of time, I like to provide workouts that you guys can continue to do in my absence. And I thought what would be really awesome is if I could record a flow that you guys can practice. So this is going to be a total body flow. We'll go through some lunges and some warriors, and you know I've always got to get some core work in there. So what we'll need for today's class is just one yoga block. Maybe you can keep it nearby just in case. And that should be it. So grab your props, grab your water, and I'll meet you back here in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and come into child's pose. So we're bringing the toes to touch, knees as wide as our mats. I'm just going to take a big breath in, lift the heart up, and on the exhalation, slowly walk the hands forward. This is actually extended child's pose. Great place to start. You can rest the forehead down. However, if you're feeling a bit stiff through the shoulders, you can come into regular child's pose and bring your arms around here. Let the palms face up. Let your shoulder blades melt off the side of the body. And if this happens to be too much for your knees, you can always come onto your back and bring your knees into your chest, or you can choose to get a rolled up mat or towel or even a throw pillow or two and place them on the back of the knees just to lessen the degree of the angle of the knee. We're just going to rest here and give ourselves a few moments to come into our breath. Letting go of any unfinished tasks. Anything at all that would prevent us from being able to focus on ourselves for the next hour. Just noticing how our body feels. And we're not breathing in any particular way. Let's just let our breath flow how it naturally wants to flow. And as we become more relaxed, we can bring more awareness into this breath. Now starting to breathe from our belly into the back and sides of our rib cage, into the chest. We can pause at the top of the inhalation and then exhale fully, letting all of the air out. And continue with this breath. And just really start to feel our bodies let go. Might even feel the hips sink a little bit closer to the heels. Feel the neck and the shoulders relax a little bit more. Maybe even be aware of any tension we might be holding on to in our jaw. Just really melting here. And this is a great pose to come to if you want to take a break during our practice today. Should have taken a few more breaths in here before we start to bring a little bit more awareness and energy into the body to begin our practice. We can start to walk the hands around if they were at our side. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, thinking starfish hands or jazz hands. Pressing into the knuckles and our fingertips. The elbows are down. We're going to energize strongly and lift the elbows up and feel the shoulders lock in place, pulling the belly in. Maybe start to lift the foreheads off of the mat. Just a little bit here. So we're going to take it into a twist. So take the right hand, and I want you to slide it underneath your left armpit. Walk it across as far as you can comfortably go, keeping the spine long. And if you can rest the shoulder down on your mat. The palm of the right hand will be facing up. And you are welcome to stay here if this feels as though it is enough of a stretch for you now. However, if you really want to take this a teeny tiny bit further and deepen this twist, let's release the left fingertips and bring them around behind us. You have a few options here still. You could let the back of your hand rest on your sacrum or low back. Or you can reach your fingers into your right hip crease and draw your left shoulder blade back and down. Press gently into the back of your right palm to help deepen this twist. And open up the chest a little bit more to the inside of our left thighs, keeping our sitting bones rooted on the back of the heels. Taking one more big breath in here and lengthening through our spine, reaching through the crown, reaching through the sitting bones, and exhale deeply. Our next inhalation, we start to unwind the body, releasing the left fingertips to the front of our mats, and then slowly bringing the right arm back through. Taking a moment here to pause before we go on to the other side. And starting to slide the left hand all the way through. Palm is reaching up, turning our gaze towards our right. Choosing to stay here. This can be quite a lot so early in the practice. There's no pressure to go any further. However, if you did like how it felt on the other side and you want to go a little bit more, you need to go a little bit more. Let's slowly bring the right hand around behind us. You can choose to place the back of your hand here, draw the shoulder blade back, or reach your fingertips around to the left crease. Press into the back of your left palm, draw that right shoulder blade back. It's a small difference here, it's not huge. When you're twisting, you want to be able to take full breaths in and out, and if you're finding this is difficult, you want to ease off of that a little bit. On our next inhalation, let's slowly unwind, Miko, and then come back to center. Take a big full breath in here, fill all the way up. And on the exhalation, let's slowly start to walk the hands back and roll up. Let's make our way onto our hands and knees. So bringing the knees in so that they're in line with our hip bones. Walking our hands forward, spreading the fingers wide, shoulders track over the wrists. We might need to walk the hands back a bit, but we're still keeping the fingers spread nice and wide here. Knees in line with the hips. So for stability, if we're feeling quite stable and secure here, we can stay here with the toes extended or reaching away from us. Or we can, if we need more stability here, we know we do, let's curl our toes under and press strongly into the toes. So we're coming into our cat-cow. Our gaze is slightly forward. So if you're looking down at your hands, those are 2 points. And you want your gaze to be that third point. Think of a triangle shape that you're creating here. So we're never dropping the gaze. We're looking at the knees in this particular pose here, tabletop. The gaze is always lifted. We have to remember that our neck is part of our spine, so it needs to be long and free of tension. So taking a huge breath in, exhale, rounding the spine, pulling the navel in, pushing ourselves away. You might feel your shoulder blades separate here. Chin is coming towards the chest as the pubic bone comes towards the belly button. And then inhale. Easing into our cow pose, lifting the sit bones up, but we're drawing the shoulder blades together, sliding them down to the hips and pulling the heart center through. And exhaling, rounding again, coming into cat pose. And if you're feeling particularly stiff, or even if you're not, but you just like how it feels in your spine, feel free to take it from side to side. You can shift backwards. I actually love how this feels on my back. When I shift back and really pull my tummy in, I get a nice stretch in my lower back. And because of the curve in my upper back, this feels really nice too, as it can get pretty tight. And then you can shift forward ever so slightly. You want to be mindful of not letting here go too much. You want to keep that belly pulling in and let the extension happen in the upper back more so than the lower back. Have fun with your cat-cow. Feel free to flow however your body feels the need to go. If you're taking it into circles, remember to change direction with your circles. Slowly start to bring it back to center. And then stabilizing once again, hugging into our midline, gaze slightly forward. Moving into spinal balance. So this is challenging coordination. On our inhalation, right arm floats up, left leg floats up. Push strongly through the soles of your foot as if you were standing on that leg. Feel the extension from the sole of your foot through your fingertips. And then the exhalation with control, bring it back in nicely. Keep your gaze forward. Try not to let your gaze shift or deviate. Inhaling, left arm, right leg. Toes, knees, and hip points facing down. Push, reach, get your body super long. Exhale, slowly bring it in again with control. Minimizing that shift from left to right, so we're continuously keeping the tummy pulling in and up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw it back in. Changing sides again. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Really push, 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 push. Exhale, and feel your glutes working here, abs working here. Shoulders are stabilizing. Inhale, reach. Exhale, in. One more after this. Last rep here on the left with the left arm. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw it in. Last set here. Inhale, reach, 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 reach. Exhale as we pull it back in. Last time here. Inhale, extend, get super long. And exhale, draw it back in. And curling our toes if they're tucked under. Bum comes back to heels. Hands stay planted. Whew, take a big breath in. And exhale fully. One more time, big breath in. And exhale fully. Inhale, shifting forward into a kneeling plank position. So the difference here is the hips are going to be slightly forward of our knees. Gaze is forward, biceps are curling forward. Shift forward. Exhale, hug those elbows in, shoulders back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, push ourselves up strong. Exhale, sit back. Now, there's no pressure to lower to that 90-degree angle from wrist to elbow to shoulder if you find it difficult to maintain the connection through your low back and abs. If this is as far as you can comfortably go and keep that connection, this is your chaturanga. It's that simple. When you get the strength, you can go further. So flowing back and forth between this, just getting some heat in the body, waking up those muscles, inhaling forward, hug the elbows in, shoulders back. Exhale, lower, lead with your heart, chaturanga. Inhale, push straight up. Exhale, sit back. So we're moving with our breath. Inhaling forward, let's come forward again. Nice kneeling plank here, shoulders back, lock in those ribs. Our elbows into ribs, shoulder blades, stabilize on the back of the rib cage. Exhale here. Inhale, push straight up. I swear this never seems to get easier. Exhale, sit back. Let's try one more. This time we're going to come all the way down, but we will pause in chaturanga. Inhale, forward, kneeling plank. Exhale, lean forward, look forward. Chaturanga, come all the way down, all the way down. Inhale, roll your shoulders to your ears, draw them back and down. Come into cobra pose. So we're pulling our chest, our heart center forward. We're reaching and planting strongly through the toes. Glutes are active, but we're not clenching the bum. We're pulling the belly in. Slowly lower our chest down. Let's curl the toes under. Press into our palms, our knees, and our toes. Inhale, push ourselves up to that plank. And exhale, lift the hips up and back. Find downward facing dog. Ooh, this is our second pose of rest. And if you get really heavily into vinyasa practice, you will be so happy to hear the instructor say pause in downward dog. It doesn't seem like, I remember when I first started practicing yoga, actively practicing it again, I never thought downward dog would be a pose of rest. But I've gotten to the stage of my practice where I'm so looking forward to hearing pause in downward facing dog. That's how you know that you've, to me that's the way to know that you've progressed in your practice as it relates to gaining a bit more strength and endurance. So marching it out here, at least for me it is. Taking the hips from side to side if you so wish. Or keeping it more traditional and just alternating bending the knees. And let's take our dog for a walk literally to the top of our mats. Creating space by coming up onto the fingertips. Find ourselves in a forward fold, knees bent here. Pulling the low belly in, inhale and slowly come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. So we're moving full steam ahead into our sun salutations. So I will start off with the modified version where we will be keeping our knees down. I just noticed that I'm cutting the top of my head off. This is my first video, okay? Working out the kinks. Okay, so finding our mountain pose or Tadasana. We want to feel our weight evenly and equally distributed, if you will, into the soles of our feet. Squeeze the inner thighs into each other and the inner shins. Suck the belly in and up, spines are long. Legs are super fired up and glutes are active. Take a big breath in and let's circle sweep our arms around and up. Exhale as we swan dive, bending our knees, hinging up the hips, coming into our forward fold. Inhaling and stepping our right foot back, placing our right knee down. Or if you don't want to, you can take the right knee off and sweep your arms up. And you can choose to bring your arms out to the side, or you can bring your hands to your heart center. From here, planting our palms and choosing to step back into downward facing dog, or we can keep it modified and bring the bum to the heels for extended child's pose. Plant your palms, whether you're in downward dog or child's pose. Inhaling and coming into that plank position we were in not too long ago. Exhaling into our chaturangas. Inhaling, coming all the way down. Taking cobra pose. Getting that upper back extension, or pressing into the tops of the feet and palms and taking up dog. Exhaling into child's pose, if we're keeping it modified, or downward facing dog. Inhaling and stepping our right foot to the top of our mat. Finding our lunge. Exhaling, planting the fingertips, curling the left toes under, and stepping ourselves forward into our forward fold. Inhaling as we bend our knees and reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhaling, sitting back into chair pose. Inhaling to rise up. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling to step our left foot back. Find your lunge, placing our left knees down or choosing to keep our left knees up, hands to heart or above the head. Exhaling into downward facing dog or child's pose. Inhaling smoothly into our planks. Knees can always choose to come down here, shifting forward. Exhaling into chaturanga. Inhaling, finding upward facing dog, or maybe we take cobra pose. Exhaling as we push the hips up and back, flipping our toes, finding downward facing dog or child's pose. Inhaling as we step our left foot to the top of our mat by the left thumb. Right knee can come down, or we keep the right knee lifted and find our lunge, high or kneeling. Exhaling, stepping our right foot forward, coming into our forward bend. Inhaling as we root through our feet and legs to rise up tall. Exhaling, another modification here, hands can come to heart. That's one completed round. We'll do another round to keep ourselves getting nice and warm. Inhaling, circling our arms around and up. Exhaling, leading with our heart, folding our bodies in half. Inhaling as we step our right foot back, way back, and look at where we're stepping back so we maintain hip width distance. Knee can come down or the knee stays up. Find your lunge. Exhale, planting our palms and stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhaling into our plank, gazes forward, shift forward. Exhale, lower, chaturanga dandasana. Inhaling, coming into upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling and stepping our right foot to the top of our mat by that thumb. Sweeping our arms out to the side. And if we're ready, let's draw the shoulder blades back. Slide them down, lift the heart up. Pull the ribs and belly in, ears back. Heart opener here. Exhale to plant our fingertips and step the left foot forward. Come into our forward fold. Inhale as we slowly root to rise. All the way up. Exhale, chair. Utkatasana. Last time on our left side, inhale, reach the arms around and up. Exhale, fold our bodies in half. Inhale as we step our left foot way back. Keep breathing deeply through the nose, guys. If you're finding it difficult to maintain your smooth breath, take a break. The benefit of practicing with me online is you can pause me, catch yourself. There's no pressure to keep up with anyone or anything. Even if you weren't online, there's still no pressure. Come forward into your plank, take it nice and easy. Allow your body the opportunity to feel. Shift forward, gazes forward, shoulders back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, let's press ourselves up. Whether we take cobra, bhujangasana, or we take upward facing dog. Let's exhale, push the hips up and back. Or the hips might come down to the heels in child's pose. Inhale as we step the left foot forward. And if that left foot isn't getting to the top of your mat, forgot to mention this earlier, you can take your hand at the back of your calf muscle and help your foot forward where you need it. Sometimes even putting your knee down to do so makes it even easier to facilitate that transition. Inhaling, arms reach up. Exhaling, fingertips plant. Use the power of your back leg to push you into your forward bend. Inhaling as we slowly root to rise all the way up. Exhale, sit back, chair pose. Inhale, circling our arms all the way around and up. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Pause here, take a moment. Reconnecting with our breath, having a sip of our water. Just having a moment here, feeling our hearts beat. So I'm facing you now, you guys now. You'll stay facing the top of your mat, but I want you to bring your feet together. Big toes touch if they can. A little bit of space between the heels. So let's extend. Let's keep our arms down by our side. Let's turn the left palm to face out. Right palm is going to face in. On our inhalation, we're reaching through the left fingertips, lengthening through our spine to bring the arm up above the head. On the exhalation, we're slowly coming over to our right. What tends to happen here in side bends is this bottom rib wants to shift back. I want you to think about pulling that back rib forward. Shoulders lengthen away from the ears. We're pushing that rib cage up, rooting down through the soles of our feet so we can really open up the left side of our body, breathe into our rib cage. Check in for this. If this is happening, draw the shoulders away. You can choose to look up, or you can look down, or you can keep your gaze straight ahead. Big breath in, lift up. Exhale, maybe go a little bit deeper. On our next inhalation, lifting back up to center. Exhale, arm comes down, changing sides. Right palm faces out. So inhale, this entire inhalation, we're lifting, lifting, lifting. So imagine someone is pushing us down here, And then someone else is magically pulling us up this way. So we're creating that lift. So the inhale, we lift. Continue that lift as we exhale and come into the side bend. So you're thinking about pulling that bottom rib away from the hip. That makes sense. And actually, you can try this if you like. You can take your hands by the ribs. You might notice that one hand feels a little bit further back, certainly the case for me. So you're going to think about guiding that other rib up and forward and continue to guide the rib cage this way. I hope I'm doing this right. I do have quite of a rogue left rib here. But I think you get the general idea. So keep, or better yet, you can imagine, if you don't have a rough trout plastic ball, wrecks your clothing. You can always come into your side bend against a wall. So the idea would be to keep your shoulder blades, if you will, on the wall. If you find one lifting off, you know you're rotating through your spine. So you have to draw that back. Great prop. Pull the wall. Good. On your next inhalation, we're lifting back up and exhaling, bringing the hands down. I'm going to step back to the top of our mat. We'll press on with our practice. So wiggle the feet back to hip width distance. Take an inhalation, sweep your arms around and up. And exhale, hinging at the hips, bending the knees, coming into our forward fold. Inhale for flat back or monkey. So for flat back, we're on the fingertips, we're lifting the heart forward, we're lifting the sitting bones up. For monkey, we can place our palms on our shins. We're drawing the shoulders back as we bring the chest forward and lifting the sitting bones up, sucking the belly in, ribs in, and then exhale, fold. Bending our knees a whole bunch here, planting our palms, stepping back, downward facing dog. Legs at hip width here, fingers spread wide, press into our knuckles and our fingertips. Draw the shoulder blades away. So feel your shoulder blades spread out on the back of the rib cage here. Neck should be nice and loose. In fact, I invite you you should be able to shake your head out no or nod your head yes, so give it a go. See if you can. If you can't, you know you're holding on to tension, so let it go. There's no room for tension here. So on our next inhalation, let's start to shift the weight into the left foot. Inhale and bring your right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the right foot up by the right thumb. Remember, if it doesn't fully get there, hand on the back of the calf, push the foot forward. So stabilizing here, squeezing into our midline. Let's take another big breath in, reach the arms up. And exhale, sink into our crescent or high lunge. Couple of things to think about here in our lunge. Where are our hips? So the right hip is going to be a little bit further forward, most likely, so pull the right hip back. It's kind of a scissoring action. Left heel is lifting up nice and high, so it's perpendicular to the mat, to the floor. You're lifting that left inner thigh up. You might need to scoot your right foot forward a little bit more. Woo, I'm feeling this. And we're pulling the pivot bone forward if we need to, so it's in line with the hip bone, so we are in neutral spine. So if your arms are feeling tired, you can keep your hands at your heart, or you can come to goalpost arms, but you can extend your fingertips up to the ceiling, pinkies facing forward. So remember how we talked about someone pulling us down while someone's lifting us up? We want that here as well. So really lift up through the side body, sucking in, reaching up as we sink down. Keep holding it here, pulling the ribs in. Inhale, reach up, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, hold it, squeeze, squeeze into your midline. Feel those legs working. Take another big breath in, reach up. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back, downward facing dog. Other side, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step your left foot to the top of your mat by your left thumb. You could also do this with the knee down, so I'll show you on this side. Arms up. Exhale, hold it here. Same cues, left hip comes back, suck into the midline. So that hugging into the midline thing, imagine the yoga block is between the thighs and you want to squeeze strongly into it. Okay? So we're rooting down, arms up. So if we're feeling stable here, we're pressing into the feet, bellies and shoulders are away from our ears. We can take an inhalation, push into the balls of the foot and the toes, and we can lift our right knees off the mat. Readjust if we need to, recalibrate, I like to say, if we need to. Keep rooting down through your feet, push strongly into your feet as we squeeze inner thighs towards each other. Lift that inner thigh up, lift up long side body long. Imagine your fingertips can reach the ceiling. Big breath in, lift up. Exhale, plant your palms. Step back, downward facing dog. We can choose to rest or we can flow. If we're flowing, let's inhale, make our way into plank. We can place our knees down. Exhale, lower into our chaturangas. Inhale, come all the way down. Find cobra, upward facing dogs. Shoulders back and down. Exhale, push yourselves up and back. Find downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And let's exhale through the mouth. Take another big breath in. And exhale. Good, moving on. Inhale, right leg floats up for three-legged dog. Exhale as we step the right foot all the way up by the right thumb. Take a look at your left foot. Let's pivot on the balls of our left foot and place our heel down. Our left heel should line up with our right heel. Now come all the way up, warrior two. So making sure that we have our right knee stacked over our right heel. You might need to push the knee out a little bit. You squeeze the glutes. Make sure you can see your big toe clearly. Press strongly into the outer edges of our left feet. Arms will be at shoulder height, but we will bring the arms forward slightly so the shoulder blades are not retracted. Hold your warrior two. Squeeze your legs together. Think about getting your sitting bones towards each other. Keep pulling the belly in and up. Spine's long. If you find that you're feeling a lot more pressure in your front foot and the left foot is feeling all kind of like it's not doing much, let's think about pushing into that back foot more and bringing our shoulders over the hips, stacking our joints. Let's turn our right palm to face up. Let's inhale as we reach our fingertips towards the front of our mat, and exhale as we lift our right fingertips up towards the ceiling. And let's pause here. So our left hand will lightly press on or rest rather, on our left leg. However, we have the option to remove that hand from there if we find it difficult to hold ourselves up and we're putting pressure on the knee. We can choose to bring that left hand behind us, rest it here. We can also choose to reach around and grab the inside of our right thigh. Just getting a little bit of opening here through the left shoulder. So we're really keeping the legs active. We're keeping that right knee bent. So lifting up, reaching up, check in with the shoulders. If there's elevating, draw them down. Keep breathing here. Big breath in. Exhale. On our inhalation passing through our warrior two, let's exhale and cartwheel our hands down. Pick up our left heel. Pivot on the balls of the foot. Let's drop our hips. We're in a nice juicy low lunge here. We could always choose to put our knee down and take this into a modified vinyasa. And I'll show you. So we place the knee down and we're either stepping back into down dog or it's follow me, stepping back into child's pose. Inhaling into our planks, knees down or up. Exhaling into chaturanga. Inhaling, finding upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, we all meet up in downward facing dog. Good. If you found yourself down your mat like I did just now, just make your way back up to the mat so you're closer to the front. Let's inhale and reach our left leg up. Exhale as we step our left foot to the top of our mat by our left thumb, helping it forward if we need to. Spin our right heel around and down, making sure that our heels are lining up. There's no need to rush. Make sure we want to make sure our foundation is solid before we press on. And I'll come on up into our warrior two. So let's check our alignment, making sure that our left knee stacked over our left heel. Right leg is nice and straight. If we have a tendency to hyperextend, when the knee joint goes way back, I want you to think about really squeezing your quad, the front of the thigh here, and squeezing your calf muscle and trying to lift your arches up to take care of the knees. So it's got a little bit of a bend in it, just so you're not hyperextending. Better for your joints. Sucking the belly in, heavy here, light and long here. Arms come forward ever so slightly so we're not retracted through our shoulder blades. We can gaze over the left fingertips, gazing out to the horizon. Strong warriors. Check in with the jaw. I'm often surprised at how much I am clenching through my jaw. Let's turn our left palms to face up. Let us inhale as we reach forward. Lower half of the body stays perfectly still. Exhale, reach. Come into our reverse warrior. Take any variation with your hand. You can even choose to bring your hand to your heart. I kind of like that, feels kind of nice. Opening up the heart, open up the side body. Checking in with our shoulders. Ooh, I can really feel my legs working here. Squeeze, pull the belly and breathe. On our next inhalation, let's pass through our warrior two. Exhale as we cartwheel the hands down. And as we're cartwheeling the hands down, check out what's happening with the foot. As we're bringing that right hand down, we're lifting up our right heel and pivoting on the balls of our right foot. So when we get here, the heel is off the mat and pointing up to the ceiling. Take a big breath in, exhale, step back, downward facing dog or child's pose. I showed you on the other side how you can step back and make it modified. Inhale, plank pose, shift forward ever so slightly, bringing the shoulders over the fingertips, gazes forward. Exhale, lower, squeeze, squeeze everything so it's easier. Press up, upward facing dog. Whoo-wee. Exhale, push the hips up and back. Find downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And exhale. Big breath in. And exhale. Whew. I don't know why I'm doing that, it just feels good. Give it a go. Come up onto the tippy toes, round the upper back, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees maybe, or push the heels down. Let it go. Okay, pressing on, guys. How are we doing so far? Hope you're doing well and taking care of your body and taking rest as you need and sipping water. Inhale, let's bring the right leg up. Let's bend our right knee and stack the right hip on top of the left. Doesn't have to be perfectly stacked, you just want to think about sending it in that general direction. Keeping our chest facing down towards our mat. Let's come up high to the balls of our left foot. Keep lifting that right inner thigh up. Take a look at your thumb. Take another big breath in here. Lift, exhale, swing your right foot all the way to the top of the mat by the right thumb. Pause here. So we're getting ready to head into warrior three. So this is where you can choose to use your block to support you. Probably two, oh yeah, you can use a block. Ooh. So fingertips can rest on the block. So I'll show you the modified version for warrior two. Actually, we could even place it on this level here. So our gaze is going to be slightly forward like it was before when we were, I actually forgot. Oh, right, we were in our plank pose. So on our inhalation, we're going to shift forward. So we're bringing that left foot in a little bit, okay? Now, this leg is going to be under a lot of pressure to keep us up, but this back leg needs to work just as hard so that we don't destabilize ourselves. So let's take it, that's our first inhale to bring that foot back in. Exhale, recalibrate. Inhale, you can start by keeping this knee a little bit bent. Yep, you can even bring this on a higher level if you wish. Shoulders back and down. Think of your flat back that you come into. So as you're bringing your heart forward, you're lifting the sitting bones up. You really need to activate that floating left leg. Now let's bring a little bit more alignment principles into this. You want to turn your left thigh inward so that your little pinky toe is pointing down towards the floor. Continue to push through your heel, pull the belly in, bring your heart center forward. This is your modified warrior three. Take another big breath in here. Exhale, hold it, hold it, hold it. And now inhale, bend that right knee. Reach for your mat with your left toes, plant your palms. Take another big breath in here. That was rough. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. So we're going to skip the vinyasa for now, and we'll press on to the other side. Okay, so that was modified. We will do the full one without the block on the other side. Are you ready? Let's go. Inhale, left leg lifts, bending our left knee and stacking our left hip on top of the right. Pull your right shoulder blade back so the left shoulder blade can come forward to keep your spine flat and facing down towards the mat. Inhale, lift it up high, come up high to the balls of your right foot. Exhale, hold it. Lift your gaze, slip between your thumbs. Take a big breath and lift up even higher. Exhale, swing your left foot to the top of your mat. Hallelujah. Just seemed like the thing I needed to say at that moment in time. All right, so we need a strong foundation. So plant that left foot like you've never planted it before. Let's walk the hands up. So we can bring that right foot in a little bit. So for warrior three, without the block, what I find is important, I'm just going to take a moment here to look at you guys. What I find is important here for balancing postures. Strong foundation, breath, focal point. Not necessarily in that order. Foundation, focal point, then breath. Yeah. So, as I mentioned before, you want your gaze to be, think about creating a triangle. So you want your gaze to be further forward and not straight down, because if your gaze is straight down, that's where you're most likely to go. And when you make your focal point further away from you, you want to be mindful that we're not lifting the chin to find that focal point, but you're moving your eyes. Again, remember the neck is part of the spine. It is usually already an extension naturally, so we don't want to overextend it and then cause bunching up on the back of the neck, okay? So that being said, if you came out of your lunge, which I totally would have if I were you, and take a break, we'll come back into our lunge, okay? All right. So that being said, strong foundation. And another thing to remember, now, I don't think I've ever had to lift up a sleeping kid before, but you've seen it enough to know that when someone is asleep, it's like dead weight, so it's very destabilizing. You have to work harder to support. So apart from a strong foundation or focal point in the breath, the leg that's going to be extended behind us needs to be working as strong as the leg we are standing on. If this leg gets really limp, we're going to destabilize ourselves, and it probably won't matter how strong our foundation is, how steady our gaze is on our focal point, or how smooth our breath is, because this is causing us to lose our balance. So that being said, let's go put all these components together. The easiest way to not add more drama, if you will, or resistance, if you will, to Warrior 3, is to bring your hands to your heart. You can always play with your arm placement once you get into your position and you feel stable and secure there. Okay? So hands at our heart center, press the palms in. My focal point is all the way over there by the wall. And I'm going to try my hardest not to take my eyes off of that. So let's really push that left foot into the mat. We should feel our glutes and hamstrings working here, and we're pulling that tummy way in. If my navel could actually touch my spine, it would be. That's how engaged I am in my abs right now. And believe you me, this butt cheek may not look like it, but it's working super hard to get ready to push me forward. So I'm going to take a little sit, a little inhale, and we'll shift forward. So let's do that together. Inhale. Exhale here. So turn on this leg even more. I know that the burning sensation in this butt cheek is going to take us away from focusing on this, but this is equally as important, if not more important. Okay? So as we think of up-dog or cobra or even cow pose, bring the chest forward as you continue to send the hips back and float that leg up. Remember spinal balance in the beginning of practice? That's what we're looking for here. So send the hips and groins back, bring your heart forward, shoulders back, sucking the belly in. Now, let's turn that thigh inward. You'll feel that left hip lengthen away, which is good because we would have done that if we were in the lunge anyways. Keep your eyes on your focal point, keep breathing, press your palms in. You can play by bringing your arms by your side. I can't bring mine up to the side on my left side, but you could hear the walls in my way. Absolute most challenging is arms out in front. Whew, hold it. Keep holding it, keep reaching. And then slowly find your lunge. Oh my word. Did you guys make it? That was tough. Let's place the palms down. Here comes your vinyasa. However, you can choose to skip it. Let's step our left foot back. I almost called it dynamic dog. Maybe that will catch on. Dynamic downward dog. Inhale. Let's come forward into our planks. Exhale. Chaturanga. Inhale. Let's press up. Or come into Bhujangasana Cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's make our way all the way down into child's pose. Take a moment here to reconnect with our breath. Great opportunity to sip a bit of water. On our next inhalation, let's slowly start to roll ourselves up. And exhale, let it go. Let's bring our legs around to the front. So as I promised you, a little bit of core work. So we're going to play with boat pose today. Okay, so butt flesh out of the way. We're revealing our sitting bones. Good. Now we're going to, so your hands never need to leave the thighs. They can stay there, okay? In fact, our feet never need to leave the floor either for this. So I will take us through various levels. We can choose to stick with what we know, or we can explore others. The choice is yours. This is your practice. I'm just your tour guide. So, but we want to keep our chest lifted, and we will roll behind our sitting bones and walk our feet in. So squeeze the ankles together and squeeze the knees together. So right here, you should already feel your abs working. Great place to hang out. No need to go any further. What I would say though is, if you are literally holding your legs in this place, allow yourself to work a little bit more and maybe just let them be there for support, but not to necessarily hold your legs in place. So let's take it up a notch. Bring the feet in a little bit more. I find I have to because my limbs are so long in relation to my torso. You may not need to. And then lift the feet off. Okay, heck of a lot happening here. Try to keep lifting the chest up as much as possible. Squeeze the quads, pull the low belly in. Okay, so we can stay here, or we can extend the arms. Good. Now bring your arms up above your head, palms face each other. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Let's play in our boat pose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you there? Keeping with me? 6. Couple more. 7. And 8. Hold it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I'm vibrating. 3, 2, 1. Woo! And release. Did you guys make it? Holy moly. It was a good idea at first, but then I just don't know, guys. All right, so let's come into butterfly pose. Holding on to above the ankles. Take a big breath and lift the heart up. And you'll feel your shoulder blades press onto the back of the rib cage. You'll feel that pelvis rock forward. You can lift your chest up. Keep your heart lifting as we fold over, coming into our forward fold. Breathe into the back of the rib cage here. On our next inhalation, let's slowly roll up. Let our heads be the absolute last to roll up. Ooh. And let it go. Hands on the outside of our knees. Let's bring the knees up. Separating the feet, come into hip width. We're going to go into reverse tabletop, just to stretch out the hip flexors and the abs. So bring your hands by your hips. For me, I have to take my hands a little bit further back just because my arms are so long in relation to my torso. See, this is where I'd be, but this is where you don't want to be. You want to be able to have your shoulders here. So we have one elevation. So I'm going to come back here. Now, 2 positions for the hands. Personally, this doesn't feel so great for me. Having my fingers facing out on either side of me is much more comfortable. However, you can keep yours facing forward. If you want to try this variation, go right ahead, but we're definitely not going that way, okay? Either one of these is okay for our shoulders. So pressing our feet into our mats, keeping the chest lifted. So we're pressing into our palms as well, just as we would for a downward dog or a plank or what have you. Squeeze the bum, pull the belly in. On our inhalation, we're going to lift our hips up. So inhale, lift the hips up, push them up. Exhale, hold it here. Squeeze your bum, pull your belly in, pull your ribs in. Keep lifting. So look at the feet. If you find the feet are a little bit too far back, just inch them forward because you want 90-degree angles if you can. Oh, squeeze those legs together. Hold it here. Squeeze the bum. Keep holding it. Breathe. The head dropping back. We can tuck the chin in and release. Doesn't make it any easier or any more difficult. Just adds another variation. Doesn't need to be done either. Hold it, keep squeezing, keep squeezing, keep squeezing. And now slowly lower back down. Nicely done. Good job, guys. Okay, let's extend the left leg, keeping our right knee bent. We are coming into a seated twist, and then we'll come onto our back and finish up and get ready for Shavasana. Everybody's favorite part. So I'll just turn to you. We want to keep our left leg nice and straight and keep our toes and our knees pointing up towards the ceiling, okay? So the right foot, we're going to keep the right foot here, bent knee. I have about a hand width, or foot width actually, yeah, if you will, a space between my knee and my leg and my foot. So if having your knee bent a whole lot is making it difficult for you to sit up tall, the knee doesn't have to be as deeply bent. My foot is actually, the heel of my foot is actually in line with my knee, if that makes sense. So you could even try that. So our left arm will come across our right shin, okay? The right fingertips, or the right arm is going to come behind us. So I'll just turn this way so you can see what's happening with my hands. So I'm up on my fingertips, and I'm using this hand to prevent me from leaning back. So I'm actively pushing in to keep my chest long. And again, I've got long arms, so there'll be a bend in my elbow. There might not be one in yours. So from here, we're taking a big breath in, lifting our chest up, spine super long. On the exhalation, we're coming into rotation. So we're going to draw, we will draw right shoulder blade back. And just moving my rib out of the way. Draw it down and lift the chest up. So this is a great twist. We're just going to keep thinking about reaching the crown of our head up towards the ceiling. Remember, the left leg is active. Toes and knees pointing up. Keep breathing. Should be able to take a full breath in and a full breath out here. On our next inhalation, let's continue that idea of lifting up as we unwind. And exhale, let it go. Good. Let's change sides. So extending our right knee, through the right knee, bending our left knee. Knees either deeply bent if we can facilitate sitting up tall, or the knees not as deeply bent. You choose. Right arm is going to come across the shin. Left hand comes behind us. The thing is, you don't even need to look over to the left shoulder. You can keep your gaze forward. It really doesn't matter, but we're not ever going to crane our neck just to look over to the shoulder. We will turn as comfortable to the range where it's comfortable for our necks. So inhaling, lift the chest up. Exhale, draw the left shoulder blade back. Let that retraction of the shoulder blade be what starts to bring you into this twist. So twist, slide it down, lift the heart up. Hold that knee into you. Good, hold it here. Remember, the right leg is active, toes and knees are pointing up. If we're finding it difficult to get a full breath in and out here, you might want to dial it back a little bit. So just come out of the twist a little bit. But if you're okay, stay there. This feels so good on my upper back, especially on this side. Take one more big breath in, get super tall. Exhale. On the inhalation, continue to lengthen the crown up to the ceiling as we unwind. And exhale, let it go. Shaking our legs out. Bending our knees, placing our hands by our side, just scooting the bum forward. So when we roll down, we want to make sure that our heads are still fully supported on our mats. I actually didn't need to scoot forward that far. Bring your knees into your chest, rock a little bit from side to side. Feels good, doesn't it? Good stuff. Come to stillness. Place the soles of our feet on our mat. Just one more bridge pose. And then, depending on how we feel, I might decide to do, depending on how we feel, I might decide to do another twist. We'll see how it goes. So for bridge, we want our feet to be at hip width distance. Okay, actually I'm going to grab my block, so I'll give you an option here. We can make this restorative, or we can make it energetic and uplifting. So depending on, to be truthful, we're heading into Shavasana, so it might be a nicer idea to go with a more restorative bridge pose as opposed to being so vibrant. However, the choice is yours. Take it to wherever you need it to go. I will share both options with you. So restorative, if you have your block handy, grab it. You have choices for how you can place this underneath the sacrum. Lowest level, medium. I can't imagine we'll go to this tall one, but maybe to this level. I am definitely going to keep it here. So we press into the feet, lift the hips up on the inhalation, slide the block underneath us. So you want to be supported on the sacrum. Okay? Good. All right. And once you get that in place, you can just rest. I actually like to turn my palms up here. Sometimes I may even bring my arms up above my head. And depending on how I am feeling, I might even extend my legs and let them flop out. And really just gently pull the abs in and get a little bit more of a stretch here. This feels really good. So this is a great place to be. And if you've chosen the restorative option, stay here for at least 5 long inhales and exhales. If you, however, prefer to keep it more energetic, we'll place the block off to the side. Arms will come down by our sides with our palms facing down. We'll take a big breath in, lift the hips up, and then we can exhale, hold, and then we can choose to walk those shoulders. So it's like you fold the shoulders of a shirt, I like to say. I guess if you fold shirts like I do, not very well. And so the shoulder blades are retracting and sliding down, and the arms come underneath you, interlace your fingers, heels and hands come together. So the thing to remember with bridge is, yes, we want to get more of a lift and deepen the back bend, but not at the risk of bringing the chin to the chest. We want to keep that space. So think tennis ball or fist between chin and chest. So the idea is to push into the feet, lift, bring the chest closer to the chin, squeeze the glutes, pull the belly in, press into those triceps. Good. And hold it here. Hold your ribs in as much as you can here. Think about reaching through your knees. Think about dragging your heels to your shoulders, if you will. Really energizing. Stay here for 5 inhales and exhales. On the next inhalation, slowly release all the way down. Exhale, let it go. Nice work. If you tried both, comment and let me know which one you preferred. Bring the knees into the chest. We'll take a quick little twist here. So bring your arms into goalpost. Bring the toes down, lift the bum up. Shift the booty over to your left so you can lower ourselves. We can lower ourselves onto our right. Wiggling that right shoulder blade over to the right. You can take the right hand and bring the left knee down closer to deepen that twist. However, if that doesn't feel good, you can always take the same block that you have You can place it here to support that top knee. So many options, guys. It's all about finding the one that fits us the best. You know, it feels the best in our bodies. And the thing is that you could do this very same twist tomorrow and have a completely different result. Which is why it's so important to not to really take anything that happens here on your mat overly seriously, because we're always changing. Things are always changing. I think there's a quote that says, the only thing that is constant is change. So this is why it's so important to let go. You know, just accept where we are in this particular moment. On our next inhalation, let's start to come back to center. Pull that belly in. Legs are quite heavy here. Shift, so we're onto the back fully again. What's that word? Recalibrate. Lift the bum up again. Shift the hips all the way over to the right side of the mat so we can lower ourselves onto our left hip. Good. Use your hand to pull the right knee down, or you can support yourself with your block. As far as your gaze is concerned or goes, you can choose to look wherever it feels most comfortable in the neck. Hi. We're almost there. We're so close. We're so close. Now, if you found that you had to choose between, you have to decide, oh, where am I going with this? So if you're supporting your knee with your block and doing that, or furthermore, actually, if bringing this knee down with your hand is causing this shoulder blade to lift up, and you really want to feel this twist here, you can support yourself with a rolled up towel or a throw pillow. If you had grabbed the throw pillow for the knees, you can always wedge the throw pillow underneath there to support you. So you're not hanging in space. Taking one more big breath in here. Exhaling, melt. On our next inhalation, we're slowly going to make our way back to center, pulling the belly in. Exhaling, let it go. If you feel the need to draw the knees in one more time, go right ahead and do so. In fact, if there's any other stretch that your body's saying, I need this, honor it. If it's the legs up the wall, you want to come into a happy baby, or whatever you need, go right ahead. Give yourself the space to do that. And then extend through the legs or through the knees fully. Let one foot come to each corner of your mat. Let them flop up, be heavy. Arms by our sides, slightly away from our body. Palms facing up. Or if you want to come into the Adi Mudra, a nice grounded mudra, tuck the thumbs in and wrap the fingers loosely over the thumb, and then your palms will face down. You know, as a child, I used to do this a lot. Not obviously, but I didn't know what that meant. But when I did it as a kid, it made me feel very safe. And it's so interesting that as an adult, I learned about this mudra. So so we know. The answers are all inside. We just have to be still enough and connect with that inner self. And we have all of our answers. So, let's take a note of our body from the crown of our head all the way down to the very soles of our feet. Just noticing if any part of our body is still resisting. What can we do to help it release, to let go, to surrender? Let's use our breath. Let's breathe into those spaces and imagine that our breath can massage them and allow them to relax, coax them into full relaxation. Let in the top of our head feel relief, allowing the space between our brow to soften, the back of the eyes, the eyelids. Let them soften too. We sometimes are squinting and don't even notice it. Softening through the jaw, releasing the neck, the tops of our shoulders, the shoulder blades, the collarbones. Feel the shoulder blades get heavy on the mat. Feel the shoulders melt. Noticing the rise and fall of our chest as we breathe. Stomach is soft. Triceps are letting go here. Biceps are softening. You can feel the elbows on the mat. Forearms. Allow them to just soften the wrists. They worked so hard today. Allow them a break. Allow them to let go. Moving our way down the spine, allowing our low back to release, sacrum heavy on our mat. Pelvis and the hips, allow them to release and to let go. The glutes are also letting go. Belly is soft. Thighs, they too are melting here. Knees, let them be heavy. Feel the weight of our calves on the back of our mats. Heels, toes. Just allow our breath to wash over our body, lulling us into complete surrender and relaxation. Know that we are safe. Know that we are supported. Know that we are loved. Enjoying the next few minutes of quiet relaxation and reflection. Breathing deeply and fully. And slowly starting to become aware of our surroundings. Coming back to the room, coming back to our mats. Gently starting to wake our body up. Moving our fingers, moving our toes. We can take a big breath in and extend our arms above our head and stretch it out as if we're waking up for the first time this morning. Big breath in and exhale. Big sigh out. Rolling onto our side and curling ourselves up into a little ball. I'm just pausing here for a moment. Just giving ourselves the time to collect our thoughts and our feelings, acknowledging them without any judgment. Making a mental note, however, to leave any negative thoughts behind and taking with us all of those feel-good, positive thoughts. And then slowly let's press ourselves up, making our way into a comfortable seated position. You can sit up on your block. And let's bring our hands to our heart. I want to thank you so much for sharing your energy with me today and trusting me to guide you through your practice. Be free, be true, and always be you. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Please subscribe to my channel. Any comments, please feel free to leave them below, or you can email me personally at jennifer@jennzenwellness.com. Thank you so much again, and have a wonderful day. Bless.